Hey guys, how you doing? This is Ty, and I'm back again for another video reaction. Actually, this is a video, on communication. Basically, I'm curious what you guys think about this. This is more focused on my basketball subscribers here. I know, I got I got a lot of Bird fans, and I have Michael Jordan fans, and I wanted to know what you guys' thoughts on Pippen's Pippen trashing Michael Jordan recently. Well, a couple of days ago, he he made a comment about Michael Jordan, and it's gotten some heat. It's gotten some heat. I'm pretty sure all you guys know about it right now, and I'd like to know your comment, and I'd like to know what you guys' thoughts about like the depth of this. What's his thinking, and what's what's going on in his head. It's like this guy seemed like he's lost it. Ever since the Last Dance, it seemed like he's lost it. Or is it something else that's behind the scenes? Yeah, I have a video here from Uncut Hoops, and let's get into this, guys. All right, let's see.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are widely regarded as the greatest duo in NBA history,
Absolutely.
winning 6 championships, repeating twice, and winning 72 games in 1996. And for the majority of the 90s, 2000s, even the 2010s, I would say both these guys publicly had a good relationship and a good rapport.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since 2020, since the Last Dance dropped,
Yeah.
this relationship has been completely shattered. And Scottie, for whatever reason, thinks The Last Dance it shortchanged him and disrespected him in many regards.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I've watched the documentary numerous times, beginning, middle, and end. And I can't find where Scottie gets so offended by Jordan. As MJ numerous times, all throughout the documentary made it clear Pippen was very important to him, his career, and especially those Bulls teams, highlighting his defense, saying he was the best teammate.
All right, guys. Yeah, I want to say that also that he always said Pippen. I couldn't have done all this without Pippen. Pippen was there with me, and he helped me throughout all these years. And without him, it probably wouldn't have been possible. And yeah, it's interesting that Michael Jordan made sure Pippen knew this. Like he knew Pippen had issues with that at that time. Like almost 40 years, 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. Pippen had issues about that at that time.
He ever had, and most importantly, saying when you say Jordan's name, right after it, you should say Scottie Pippen. That is definitely some pretty high praise for the greatest player in NBA history. But even with Jordan saying that, Pippen since then is in the anti-Jordan vendetta for some odd reason. And look, I don't want to get too personal, but if you know Scottie Pippen's wife, she's let's just say further streets and then passed around the NBA more than DJ Augustine. And
Yeah.
looking at Sky's most recent comments, once again, he's throwing mud on Jordan's name and using him for headlines as well as clicks.
LeBron will be the greatest statistical guy to ever play the game of basketball. And there's no comparison to him. None. So, does that make him the greatest player to ever play the game? I'll leave that out for debating because I don't believe that there's a great player because our game is a team game.
Look, Scottie Pippen at this point is the ultimate flip-flopper from day to day, week to week, and especially year to year.
Yep.
As on the record numerous times, he said the greatest player of all time was Michael Jordan.
He said that before.
Also said it was LeBron James.
He said that too.
Also said it was Wilt Chamberlain.
I didn't hear that.
And now is claiming there is none. As always, Scottie and anyone in the world, they can have their take and their opinion on the subject of who's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But looking at the past 5 years, I'm going to take his opinion with a little bit of a grain of salt. And when it comes to Jordan versus LeBron, Pippen back in the day was very, very adamant Jordan was the much better player. But nowadays, he's tweaking that argument saying LeBron James is a better stats player. And look, LeBron James' longevity stats are better than Jordan's.
Right.
Nobody's arguing that.
Yeah.
But when talking about the greatest player of all time, is it only stats, not accolades, championships, and all that other stuff?
Right.
For me, I take it all into account. That's why I think Jordan is the best player and the
All
greatest
around.
player in NBA
Yeah,
history.
all around.
I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He was a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
Wow.
So, look, as I said before, Scottie Pippen.
Hey guys, that part when he said that, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he said that. That really shows how deep this guy has an issue with Jordan and his family. I really think it's yeah, it shows how deep he had the issue that he had because he's saying Jordan took all the shots. Who catered the team around one player? It's the coach. The coach is if he was doing that, if he was taking all the shots, it's the coach that's pushing him to do it. I mean, if it wasn't okay with the coach would have told Jordan, stop doing it. Let's give the ball all over the place so everyone else gets shots or whatever. But he's blaming Jordan for what the coach did at that time. So that's interesting, and he knows this. He knows that when he came there, that that's the case was, and he helped. And Pippen went there. When he went there, he helped out the team, and it became more of a team. Everyone even team at that time.
As of late, he's been on a marketing tour, marketing books, as well as tequila. And for this clip, for the sake of Scottie Pippen, I'm going to assume he's under the influence and doesn't understand what he's saying.
Wow.
As calling Michael Jeffrey Jordan a horrible player is the coldest take in NBA history.
Wow.
And if you want to say Jordan, he was selfish, a bad teammate, even then, I have a hard time buying that. As even in college at UNC, he played in a team system that was built to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when he got to the NBA, his teammates, they weren't nearly as good. And unfortunately for him, in his first 3 years, he played with cokeheads and drunks on his team.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Pippen quite literally says Michael Jordan, he was a bad player taking bad shots. Let me just show you guys for 1 second. Rookie Michael Jordan, as a rookie, fresh off the boat into the NBA. This year, arguably, is better than some players' prime.
Yeah.
He averaged 28.2 points, 6.5 boards, 5.9 assists on 51.5% shooting with 2.4 steals. For his Bulls team, he did everything. Led them in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and was second in blocks as a rookie.
Wow.
And his Bulls team went from 27 wins,
wow.
the second worst record in the NBA, to a playoff team that won 38.
Wow.
Michael Jordan, as a rookie, was not a horrible player or a bad shooter. And even going one step further, look at Jordan in 1987. That year, historically, one of the best seasons in NBA history, as Mike averaged an astounding 37.1 points per game, the highest in the modern era, and the most since Wilt Chamberlain.
Wow.
He had 30 40-point games, 6 50-point games, and 2 60-point games. And looking at his overall team, once again, the Bulls management, at this point, weren't doing a great job. As Oakley and Paxton were his two best teammates, and only teammates in double figures. And one thing Scottie himself has echoed is that MJ before him, he was nothing and didn't start winning till he arrived. And that is a very common argument from LeBron fans, anti-Jordan fans, even Pippen.
It helped him.
That argument, though, has been debunked so many times. As looking at Jordan in his first year with Scottie, in 1988, he was entering his first year in his absolute prime, averaging 35 points, 5.9 assists, 5.5 boards, 3.2 steals, and 1.6 blocks.
Right.
You could argue Jordan this year, in 1988, had the best season in NBA history.
Wow.
Winning MVP, All-Star Game MVP, the dunk contest, his first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, the scoring leader, steals leader, defensive player of the year, played all 82 games, and the most minutes averaged in the entire league.
Wow.
The Bulls making the playoffs, improving so drastically, was that due to Jordan having the greatest year of all time, or Scottie Pippen, who was a rookie? Even worse than that, Pippen on the Bulls roster wasn't their second best player, third best player, fourth best player, or fifth best player, as Pippen that year ranked 8th in minutes per game on his own team and 7th in scoring
Wow.
at 7.9 points. And even looking at the NBA playoffs, Michael Jordan and Scottie, in their first game together, Jordan had 50 points playing 44 minutes to Pippen, who scored 0 points only
Wow.
playing 19 minutes.
Wow.
And Jordan for that series averaged an astounding 45.2 points per game, the highest ever in a single series. So once again, I'll ask, in 1988, who was the main reason the Bulls got over the hump and started winning in the playoffs? Was it Michael Jordan, who won virtually every award, or Scottie Pippen, who didn't start one game for the Bulls that season? And if you think 1 year is a small sample size, unfair, look at 1989. Pippen at that point still wasn't an all-star or a great player by any standards. And Jordan, for the most part, carried role players to the Eastern Conference Finals. And this run alone proves Jordan, minus cokeheads and drunks, could carry a team deep in the playoffs.
I did not know that.
As versus Cleveland, he averaged 38.9 points, scored 44, 50, and 44 over the last 3 games, and the game winner over Elo. Versus the Knicks, for the second seed, he averaged 35.7 points, scored 40 points, 47, 38, and 40 for the final 4 games. And versus Detroit, averaged 30 points per game, with Craig Hodges being his best teammate. I want to be very, very clear in saying this. Pippen in his prime was one of the best players in NBA history. But his first 2, 3, even 4 years, he wasn't prime Pippen in the Pippen you remember.
Wow.
And saying Jordan pre-Scottie didn't win anything is one of those half-truths that is true at face value. When you add context, it's much more nuanced and not black and white. And looking at Jordan versus Pippen off the court, once again, this beef, it's completely one-sided. Pippen throwing all the punches.
Yeah,
Jordan always gives Scottie credit, praise, and goes over the top with adulation. At this point, Pippen gotta just hope the best for him, hope he gets through this, and at some point gets over these demons. So, as always,
some
thank
deep
you guys for
ones
watching.
too, guys. That's basically it. I wanted to focus more on like what your thoughts are on Pippen. I mean, what's wrong with him? What's going on in his head that he's saying this stuff about his? It's not even. They're not really friends. He said they're not even friends. He's just he just like coworkers, I guess. Just associates. And that's just interesting because I think Jordan gave him a red sports car to show his appreciation. Like years later, probably like 10 years later after his retirement, he gave him a sports car to show him his appreciation. And it's funny how things just went downhill for them, both of them. I mean, on Pippen's side, he's just disrespectful to Jordan. I mean, Jordan never disrespected him, but he has issues in his mind or something. And oh yeah, this is what I want to say too. Is it because of the Last Dance he's doing this, or because of Jordan's son? His going out with his ex-wife. I think that's putting more fuel on the fire. Jordan's son going out with his ex-wife, and how disrespectful his ex-wife's been to him. Yeah, it's just that's disrespectful what his ex-wife did, because she's been around the family for a long time, even though she's not close to the family, Jordan family. She was around the family, so she's seen Jordan's son when he was like a little kid, probably a teenager. And so she's seen this boy growing up, and now she's going out with him, which he's in his 30s, a grown man. He's in his 30s, and she's like 45, 46 probably. So guys, just let me know what your thoughts are on what's wrong with him, and it's disrespect for Jordan. And Do you think that Jordan would have made it without Pippen throughout the years? Because Jordan said himself he probably wouldn't have made it, but Pippen said that he was he was better than Jordan. I guess that's what he said. So let me know, guys. All right. So and if I want you guys to communicate and see where this goes. If it goes well, I'm gonna bring out more, focus more on basketball stuff, information that's out there. All right, guys. Talk to you later.